Hello, hello. We are back. We are back. Um, Let me close out this tab or two. And we are up. Yes, yes. So, yes, we are back with some Roottrees. Last time we played the game, we discovered. Well, actually, let's check it out together, I guess. But yeah, we actually had a pretty good time last time we played. It was pretty fun, and we got a lot done. So let me show you a little bit about what we got done. We found out a little bit about this root tree curse. So basically, what has happened is mysterious things have happened to a lot of the presidents who have taken not presidency, a lot of presidents of the Root Tree Candy Company. So we heard something about something happened to either Ernest Jr. or Ernest himself or his son. And then essentially let's say we got 21 out of 33. So we need a good chunk more. But I am trying to remember what we were doing last. Let's see what's in our notes. Yes. So we learned about somebody with a book, and also I think we get any evidence? Let's see. This, right? And that's how we got this photo, I believe. Okay, so picking up right where we left off. It is captioned Caroline standing next to her sculpture, Atlantis Burden. Okay, so we know Caroline is an artist. Okay, we have Caroline where we think she belongs, but slightly unsure, to be honest. I was trying to see if these two look like. Like, could I possibly shift her over? You know, one. I don't know if I have enough evidence to do that yet, or if I want to. But yes. So essentially, we wanted to look up this upcoming book called Self-Portrait, Art and Beauty of Women. We'll go ahead and copy that. We'll go over to our computer, look at the local, see, public library. I was going to say local library. Is it Caroline Morden? All right. Published in 1987. Softcover large art, photography, sculpture. Dedicated to Eloise and Stephanie. That's potentially probably people in the family, if I had to guess. Mostly black and white pictures of Caroline's art. The centerpiece is a series full of color nude portraits, different ages, stretching from 25 to 30. They certainly have been not added to your evidence. What does that mean? So I could just see them and they're just not added to my evidence? In the intro, Caroline talks about influences. She was one of the youngest in her generation, and in her late teens, she felt betrayed by her sister Gwendolyn. And cousin Bonnie. So we have them right. Maybe she's the oldest one. Okay, so her cousin Bonnie. Do we have Bonnie on here? Bonnie would be on this level, you would think, right? What's Bonnie's last name? Bonnie Hudson? Oh, where's Guy Hudson? Right here. That's her cousin. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna swap these two. Let me go back to that picture to triple check, right? Because we can always look at the evidence one last time. Could this have been her right here? Caroline is in this picture. Maybe she, yeah, they do look similar in age. I don't know. I'm gonna swap them. And this is who we thought. I might go back swapping those two. Like, I swapped these two and then I swapped them back, but I still haven't got anything correct. We don't necessarily know if artist is her last job, though, as well. Alright. I guess let me finish reading before I jump to conclusions. In the intro, Caroline talks about influences. She was the youngest in her generation. In her late teens, she felt betrayed by her sister Gwendolyn, and her cousin Bonnie gave up dreams to settle for boring men. She especially dislikes her brother-in-law, Dr. Wilson. I think we did. Hold on. Let's not even. I'm not even gonna change anything. I'm going right back to where we had it. We don't know. And this is who we think. Alright, because that checks out what we were just reading, Dr. Wilson. We could swap Dr. Wilson, but if I'm not mistaken, I feel like I read something to where somebody had 3 sons and daughters, so that's what I was like, maybe I should just leave it at the moment. Because there's 3 Wilsons, and that's what made me think that. And that actually, because that there's 3 Wilsons, we could pretty much confirm that Gwendolyn belongs here. I can say, because they're, that would have to mean Wilson will be on multiple of these things, I'm assuming. But I think we got it together. I think we might just be off by, a photo, occupation, maybe one more person to get right, or even just reading the full thing. Their marriages led to her double down on her passions, art and the environment. She even married a man who was the opposite of boring, which was overcorrection. And overcorrection opposite of boring. She comes out strongly against the Roottrees company's effect on local government, and rues how she was not able to convince her father Zach to make changes in policy. We need that. She also explains how her marriage to Mark, I guess I should highlight the whole thing. That way I know what I'm looking at when I come back to the notes. Led to the most volatile moments in her life, all negative. And the only good thing that he ever gave her was a daughter. Leaving them all behind for good has pushed her to pursue her true loves, art and beauty of women. Well, we got the father right. We know she's in the right place. Art and beauty of women. I think we got it right, I don't really think there's anything else here, yeah. Okay, so we probably have her sister wrong. We know who her sister is. The question is, I'm assuming I got the photo wrong. Or I got somebody totally differently wrong. But we do know, we have a little bit of notes. Real quick, she has a marriage to somebody named Mark. Mark Landon. So we were correct with saying Stephanie belongs down here. Stephanie Landon. And, wait. I don't know if this is correct. We have another Stephanie. What was the last name? Cattrall. And then we have a Cattrall Sam, which we don't know where they would belong. Okay. Was there anything else? Art and Beauty of Women. Eloise and Stephanie. Who is Eloise? Eloise does not have a last name. But Eloise could be connected to Caroline. I mean, if anything, this might be a hint to something else that might go close to here. Maybe Eloise is somebody who helped raise Stephanie. We gotta figure out who Stephanie's married to later on. Okay, wow. We don't have this little girl? She's not a student? I guess she's a little older. What could she be doing? Oh, I gotta... No. Imagine, though. But maybe we could look more into her. That's real interesting. We got her sister right. And we got a list of people, right? I don't know. All right, I guess I'll search this. Oh, you know what? You know what's funny? She is she's probably an author. Cause she made a book, her upcoming book. I mean, she did do the painting. It's not gonna magically help me out. It's not. Okay. Let's go back to this photo. We got quite a bit of people revealed in the photo. There's some people we don't have. Do we know who Jim is? I don't know if we have Jim's secondary picture confirmed. This is who we think Jim is, because look at his mustache. He's like kind of like the only one here that has like kind of that thing going on. Okay, I think after looking at the notes, if I don't see anything right now, I truly believe that I go by the evidence, right? So I guess we go starting up here with the newspaper clipping. We're supposed to get 8 pieces of evidence from this. Maybe we even take a closer look to this. Caroline standing next to her sculpture, Atlantis Burden. The sculpture is one of many works featured in her upcoming book, Self-Portrait, Art and the Beauty of Women. This is just one of the many pieces in our local art expo. Art in Butler County Times. Okay. I don't know if this says Butler County Times, but it says Butler County, so maybe we can search Caroline. What's her last name? Morden? Caroline Morden. Yes. Oh, I already discovered this page, maybe? You find a cover story about local art installations, including one by Caroline Morden. There isn't much about Caroline as a person. This is mostly a listing of art in Butler County. She seems to get top billing. We could search Atlantis Burden. No. So maybe this is just what we were just looking at is literally just the news clipping in the Butler County Times, right? And then let's go back to what we found about her book. Can we search her name? Caroline is missing on a few art websites without much detail. She seems to be associated with a movement called P-Flag. Okay, that's something. That's a lead. That's something we haven't seen before. All right, P. I hate that. I hate that. Okay. Okay. An organization founded in the 70s. Acronym stands for Parents and Friends Against. Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. Ah, so is Eloise her lover? But we will also search that. So that will also that will also make sense to why she split up. But I also do think Eloise. Okay. And then we had something about Stephanie. Eight pieces of info I'm supposed to get from this. 8? And look how short this is. It's not even multiple things. What's up, Shippy? How are you? Holy moly. Okay, let's go. And I'm still supposed to get more from rolling on down to the city. That's crazy to me. We also identified Stephanie Jones. We also identified that Stephanie is a totally different Stephanie. Wait, no. I mean, unconventional family. What does that even mean? Maybe we have a wrong Stephanie. Maybe Stephanie is this lady, right? Right here. And she is city council. And then that will put, who is CM? That will perhaps put this guy here. And his last name would be Jones. But why does it say CM? And we get more than one Jones. Patricia. Jones Patricia. I don't know if that helped me. In fact, it probably hurt my chances if I had to guess. Um, I don't know. CM. CM. Caroline Morden. So I think we are right. We don't know who this guy is, though, I don't think. But if Caroline Morden sent this, CM, are there any other CMs? No. If Caroline sent this, then that might mean Stephanie is, we can confirm that Stephanie is Caroline's daughter, perhaps. And then also it did say she grew up in an unconventional household. I don't think she was a public speaker. Didn't they say it was some politics shit, right? City council, local office. Love is the future. Okay. Well, I guess we got that together. So what's the little girl? I thought the little girl's name was Stephanie as well. Maybe she is Stephanie Catrell or whoever. Do we know who these two are? This photo was tucked inside of an envelope beneath a candle. To Carl and Brenda, I'm sorry that you were unable to attend the funeral. It's tradition to have it as soon as possible. And Ernie, more than anyone else on earth, knew how busy your job could be. I have enclosed a Shiva candle identical to ours if you like to pay respects, though it's not expected for those outside the faith to do so. Ernie was a man of love, not only for his family, but for his family legacy. He had immense amount of pride for the work you three did together, as well as how Carl carried on after him for taking over. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna keep going. So we're missing one person that we're trying to understand. As for myself, it's impossible to express my gratitude enough for rescuing us from the panic and burden of endless bills. Though we caught it too late for him to get on the donor list, the company took care of us beyond our wildest expectation. And when I said at the time, but Ernie and I knew it had to have been Carl who convinced the trust that it was no coincidence that happened shortly after your visit, Brenda. Up until the end, Ernie and I had to stay strong, especially for Nicole's sake. Ernie, Nicole. Yes, right? What's her name? Was it signed off? Debbie. And then that means Nicole is probably the little girl in this photo. I mean, I don't think she's a student necessarily, but she's a little girl in this photo. But look at everybody else. She probably did something else. We could probably look her name up very soon. Okay. I think that does help, right? We got a picture to the name for the most part. And although we don't know exactly what Nicole does, we got that name there. Which is helpful. Madsen Nicole. Let's go ahead and look up Madsen Nicole. Oh, oops. Alright, let me read this one last time. Let's see. Okay, we do know Nicole. Okay, so let's see if Nicole is in any other photo. Is Nicole in here? No. Mm. We still got most, but not everybody on here. Do we have everybody on here? Mostly everybody. We don't have everybody identified yet. What's the description on this? Let's see. Okay, so we already got Eli Jr. He designed the stuff, right? Do we have? Yep, we confirmed he's an architect. Let's see if we find anything about going. I'm spelling all of this wrong. How do you spell Sis's name? Jesus. Okay, so what I'm thinking about doing is I actually don't really know film school. What else could we find out? We could search Stephanie Jones again to see if there's anything that we could find. Why does it not copying? Let's try this one more time. Here we go. Okay, let's see. Stephanie Jones, a small report detailing election results. She won her election. You also find a full version of the newspaper clipping. She's Stephanie Jones, born Stephanie Landon. So maybe the name that we can put down here is Jones. Oh, okay. So we don't even need to put. Gotcha. Okay. Married to a locals business owner, Brian Jones. And do we have Brian over here? Nice. Stephanie grew up in a home without a father. With my mother and her partner, I essentially had an entirely female influence. Though she is a distant cousin of the Roottrees, her mother Caroline, a local artist. So yeah, that's probably what I'm doing. I'm probably changing way too much at a time. But yeah. Who has appeared on the front page of Butler County Times in the past, has often come out to oppose the company's policies regarding deforestation of indigenous trees to expand Maple Farms. Unlike my mother, I'm not a fighter. I want to bring love into the world. Like my mother, I'm not a fighter. Huh. I want to go back to that picture to see. Do we know what Gwendolyn Morden does, though? If this is her? I might take a hint, to be honest. Let me take a peek at some of this evidence to see. I'm supposed to be able to get 2 things from here. Maybe we could start by like the low things or the lower things on the list to see what we need to get from here. And I thought that this is just the thing, Roottrees, mother parent, Tessa Roottrees. We don't know who Tessa Roottrees is. $1996. And then when is 1987? Could Tessa be Edward's daughter? Where else do we have Tessa, though? I actually don't think we have Tessa on here. Her Roottrees parents. But that was in quotation marks. I don't know, man. I really don't. Let's go ahead and take a slight directional hint. Jim used to be in a different band when he was younger. I did not know that. Alright, let's search Jim Roottrees by himself and not Jim and Diamond. Let's go ahead and search Jim or James. Jim Roottrees, let's see. Jim and Diamond had a 2-year-old daughter named Candy. They called the name a bit too on the nose. That's real interesting. Nothing about Candy Roottrees. Nope. Let's say a reluctant hitmaker. Oh, I remember this. I didn't think to copy this though. Another thing of me overlooking or being too fast. That's the one thing I feel like I wish I need to get a better handle on where we left off so I can try to be thorough about things. Because that's kind of like what I like to do with games. But I feel like this game has been a little hard to be thorough. But also, this is something that I had no idea whatsoever that I need to look up about the band. Alright, they only released one single called These Times. Someone with the username Die Hard Dazzler will highlight that. scanned the cover and noted that it cost him over $200 at an auction. Apparently, this was Jim Roottrees and Diamond LaRoe's first song together. He also mentions that it was performed with Jim's cousin and Diamond's sister. I mean, we learned that, but we didn't think that it had anything else to give us other than that they dated the same sister, which we kind of had an idea, but we were still kind of like trying to figure it out. It was only somewhat similar to Jim and Diamond's latest works. You can't find anything else about Die Hard Dazzler, the band, or the singler. So all that's left to do is add the scan to your evidence. The track is also available. Okay. So you telling me we can't search? All right, let's just look at the evidence that we have. These times. Okay, and then this is all of them. If I didn't get a picture of them, I got a picture of them now. This sparkling. Oh no, that's my water. I was about to say, what is that? We might be wrong with one of these pictures. Let's see. Who's sitting next to each other? I don't know. Anyways, let's read a little bit about it. We'll listen to it after, and then, yeah. These Times is an old single from folk group C&J and J&D. You have a scan of the album as well as a recording of the title track thanks to the collector of Jim and Roottrees memorabilia. The website also listed the song's credits as music and lyrics by Chris Rafferty and Jim Roottrees. That's interesting. It clicked out of it already. Backup vocals by the LaRoes. On the sticker, it says folk style songwriting catching MMM magazine. Okay, so we'll be able to potentially look this up in MMM. The lyrics of the song contain no clues. Lyrics: life is life and love shall be, me for you and you for me. Someday will come through. That is the tree. That this tree will be the last of what is we. Let's listen to it.
Life is life, love shall be, me for you and you for me. Someday will come though that this tree will be the last of what was we. With passing years all paths diverge, rivers rambling onward surge, one source behind old
Okay, I mean, it definitely sounds different than the other stuff. Alright, let's see. A section of the magazine called Skip It or Flip It has short, pithy blurbs about the new records. An album called These Times listed under Skip It column with the following. These Times new singles from C&J and J&D. Clark Rafferty, Jim Roottrees, and the two LaRoe sisters. Amateurish folk-style songwriting is catchy at times, but ultimately doesn't do anything new. That was rude. I guess we'll look up Butler County Times. We can search that here. Oh no. Okay. And LaRoe sisters. So we know Jim has 2 children. That's still, I feel like that confused me more. Did it not?
These times are ours for free. Someday these times will all be over.
Let's go back and look into the clan's trust, maybe. I feel like I'm at like maybe a slightly dead end, trying to figure out, where I need to go from here. All right, so the clan's trust, we already know. Clancy, Edward Roottrees.
These times are ours for free.
The head lawyer, we already got him as the head lawyer. RR attempting unsuccessfully to remove. So who is RR? Did we figure out who RR could have been? Riley, Raina, or Ronald. Ronald Roottrees. Who the hell is that? We also have a Robert Roottrees. Huh. My mind is moving so fast. I'm like, what do I grab from? Let's see, 1996. All right, so 1974 to 1977, Wilkins Motors is Roottrees Motors. Do we know who Wilkins is? Catherine Wilkins. So somebody named Catherine Wilkins married somebody named went in the Roottrees family. Is that, did I spell it right? With a K. I spelled that completely wrong. Wait, no, I actually... Huh. Are there anything else? I want to try to take a peek from here. like my mother. I'm not a fighter. And then this is what Stephanie said. A fighter. Very interesting words that Stephanie uses here. A fighter. I just think that that's very interesting wording for the mom. Alright, we figuring this out for real. I'm trying. If we do think Stephanie belongs here, then we'll just go ahead and commit to it. And we don't know what Sam looks like. Very, very confusing. I guess I just feel so confused why this one says 1. So let me think. Boys and girls agree. I'm supposed to get one more clue from here. So I'm probably supposed to get this person figured out. And we know this is Bonnie. We just don't know what Bonnie does. We thought that she was a model. I'm gonna copy this. Weird. Maybe we're just looking into Guy Hudson a little bit more. We've been here before, but let me see. It could be something I'm missing. Let's see. I don't know if we've been here, although Butler County Times does not archive their obituaries. They did front page story in 1982 about Guy Hudson and his wife Patricia dying in a car accident. We don't know which Patricia, but alright. The story itself is surprising light on relevant details due to the recency of the accident. Police reported that the crash was caused by an unidentified driver who swerved in front of the Hudson's car, causing them to brake and veer hard off the interstate. Although Guy was somewhat controversial, the president, foul play is not suspected. There were witnesses who reported that the vehicle which instigated the wreck was speeding, swerving between lanes, and cutting off other drivers as well for at least 5 or 6 minutes before the tragic accident. One witness said it could have been any of us who eventually ran off the road. The aggressor fled after the accident. The police have few leads other than a make and model. Guy has been president for the Roottrees company for only 4 years, though an undoubtedly volatile period between the company's history. He and his wife had no children. Well, that's nice. We that would have helped us put Guy there, but we already have him there. Okay, is there anything else that we could look up? Small article, 1977. Guy Hudson, along with his twin sisters, are no strangers to this public when it comes to the Roottrees snacks. They both appeared in the company's advertisement during the Boys and Girls Agree era. Now Guy taking over the company at the end of the year. Who would have known those two adorable redhead? Guy credits his mother and father, Angie and Christopher. Imagine this is Angie the whole time. Very well could be. We could have the wrong picture up in here. And then we were like thinking like because she was blonde, she could be, but at the same time we were like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know what I got right so far. So changing the picture may not hurt me, especially if I don't know this person's occupation so far. Arguing over everything but chocolate would grow up to take over the whole company. Guy's uncle and current president Zach has decided to take an early retirement to focus on travel on the world. Okay, so they made a whole like little thing for. Okay. I mean, okay. Man, this is we're getting there. I know. I see the vision. You guys probably see the vision. You guys are probably like, she could probably get one more thing right and have it all right. Right? But some people just literally have nothing about them. I just got some water in my glasses. The part that to me that I feel like I can get easiest is try to figure out what certain people are going on. This Die Hard Dazzler thing. Okay. Anything else? We got this rolling on down to the city, but I'm still confused. I believe that this says 5. Maybe they want me to be able to get their spouses and stuff, right? Hmm. I am thinking we got a lot of stuff solved. So we know that this is Caroline, right? We know this is Caroline. And we look at this picture, for example, we know Caroline isn't here, so we could assume that this is Caroline right here with the wavy hair. Now there's a possibility that... Who would be the youngest one here, though? We know Caroline is the youngest, right? Who would be the little girl in this photo? Because I thought that this would be Caroline. Also, Caroline is also along the same age as, like, you know, like Carl and them. Like, of course, we got this guy locked in his older picture, but, you know, they all are old to an extent. They all have kids and whatnot. Not all of them, but, you know, most of them. Hold on. Alright, okay, what was I looking at? Who are the women names we can assume? We got Bonnie on here. We don't exactly know who Bonnie is. We know that she is brown haired. But I truly believe that smile, this girl kind of looks like Bonnie. This girl is standing next to Hudson. Or not Hudson, Guy, I mean. But I feel like if we leave this here, that also could be good either way. But also, maybe figuring it all out could be good too. We got Caroline, Gwyneth Madsen. And then where do we have Gwyneth Madsen? Gwyneth Madsen will be down here, to me. That don't necessarily mean that she would be older, though. But we know she does probably belong down here. Is Stephanie in this photo? No. So we got Bonnie in here, which we think this is Bonnie and Guy, because they both damn near got the same tint of hair. And they both are redheads, right? Ernie Jr. Who do we think is Ernie Jr.? Now, we have no idea. Is Ernie and Ernest Jr. in here? So we have Ernest Jr. in this picture. Do we have Ernest in any of these photos? I don't know. Uh-oh, I didn't mean to do that. I'm trying to put this back to the side. Let's see. I wish this photo listed everybody that was in it. Let's see. Miracle was in it. Angie and I both wanted to be in it, so Angie probably is that. We don't know what Angie it does though. This game got me stumped. It really does. I'm gonna take a second. I don't really want to take too many hints in quick succession, but they got me thinking about it. What do we know? I feel like we got a lot of stuff in a general place that we think it belongs. We just don't have a lot of understanding of what people did as like for a job. But I feel like if we get one more person written down or one more person right, we might be able to figure this all out, right? The question is, would everybody on this row be automatically older than everybody on this row? Or would that technically just be meaning that Clark settled down with somebody a lot younger? You know, I don't know, because they said sisters, so I don't understand. This might be just drawn out simply because Clark remarried multiple times. We still don't know who Chris's parents are. We wouldn't even have we probably wouldn't have a picture either. Let's see if we get a little guidance, I guess. Back to this guy. I don't exactly know what it said. I kind of read it quickly. It said something about his search. Jim or James. There's a tangent in the spider search result. No, that's not what I wanted to do. I always click it thinking that this is what I wanted to do, but no. Okay. What does recluse mean? That means he's MIA? Okay, this is something new, an album by Jim and Diamond released in 1989. You can't even find a picture of a cover, but it doesn't have appeared very successful. Some basic liner notes exist on Jim Roottrees' fan page, and it states that the lyrics and guitar are credited to Jim. Okay, so same kind of thing. Let's see. Maybe we can search Sound of Laughter in the periodicals. Wow, it's that old, huh? There's a tangent in James Roottrees' spider search. I'm gonna search him in every single thing. So I'm gonna search him here. We got that. We just looked at that, and then we'll search him here too. Alright, this is exactly the word. But I think my second thing will be James. So let's see. There's a tangent. Diamonds Dazzlers. Is that something that we're supposed to search up? Diamonds Dazzlers. It probably is because we have that username, Diehard Dazzler, as somebody who leaked the stuff. Diamond Dazzlers is the name of the official fan club for Dim and Diamond. You find a forum called Cool Thing You Just Got in the Mail on a forum about video games. One reply mentions that Jim and Diamond still send out a Christmas card every year to Diamond's Dazzlers. It's accompanied by some pictures as well as some history about the fan club. Apparently, even though it's no longer available to join, Jim and Diamond still honor themselves personally. There is a fierce debate in the subsequent posts whether that is cool or pathetic. Amongst pictures of Christmas cards from over the years, only one is relevant. A card from 1996 included pictures of Jim and Diamond's youngest son, Wolf, as well as a note from his daughter's band, the Floozies. That picture has been added to your evidence. So, we're looking for Wolf. Let's go ahead and search up the Floozies, too. I'm starting to think maybe I should just search all this stuff and then look at the evidence later. That way I can keep the computer up, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and search it. The Floozies are an all-female punk band operating out of New York City. They're mentioning passing in an online review from earlier this year. Apparently they were the opening act for a band the reviewer actually came to see. The reviewer writes that she normally doesn't review the opening act, but this one was unusual, and not because of the music, which she described as loud, fast, and repetitive, but not in a good way. The trio was extremely cagey about their identities. The reviewer asked the venue who they were, and she was told that they were rumored to be the children of other famous musicians and didn't want that to be why they became popular. The reviewer also mentioned that for an underground and unknown band with absolutely no following, their equipment was all extremely expensive, and not only were they selling CDs, but they only cost $1. They were probably losing a fortune. The reviewer said although she brought a copy, she'll be unlikely to ever listen to it again, except maybe Beef Baby, the second track. There's no picture of the Floozies performing live, but the cover from the CD they were selling, Consequenza Board, has been added to evidence. Okay, let's search this. Beef Baby is a song by the Floozies. You can't actually find anything about it anywhere, but like a name with a name like that, it's hard not to speculate on the subject matter, is it? Could it be euphemism or about a newborn cow? Perhaps the Floozies are holding a grudge against the Tyler. It certainly piques your curiosity only if you have the time and resources to look into it further. Okay, let's go back and search that album name. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so we might have to come back and look up the Floozies and what's going on there. But, okay, let's look at this. Oh, this is Wolf. Found a picture of a Christmas card from Jim and Diamond to their fan club in 1996, 2 years ago. Included is a picture of his son, Wolf, listening to his parents' latest music. Okay. A CD from a band called the Floozies that is only available in live shows. On the credit covers they say guitars and vocals Candy, bass Nikki, drums Nina. Interesting. Okay. Uh-oh. She's a musician. Yes. Oh my god. It's been like an hour. I was like, what am I gonna get right? What did I do wrong? Okay. Whew. Okay, so we got something right. We locked a couple things in. Nice, look at that. Perfect. Funny enough, we still didn't get Bonnie locked in, but we know that occupation is wrong. All right now, so we got a good chunk of it right. I feel like all the extra names and pictures are helpful for sure. I'm surprised we didn't get these pictures locked in. Perhaps we got them on the wrong side. All right. So now what? Now what? Now what we do? I guess the next thing will be to go back and see. So this has 0 on it now. What about this? We just got this one. This one doesn't have anything on it as well. We don't know exactly what Wolf Roottree does, but we can also look him up. What I'm finding is that nobody really has anything about anybody that's not the original people. So like yeah, like it would make sense if I could find anything on Wolf Roottree, but it seems like the main family were the most famous ones. At least we have the photos of them, which is, helpful. What if he was a musician too? But nah, I don't think so. And then maybe we could search back into Gwen. Do we have anything about Gwen? Interesting. We still got a couple things here. So we don't have anything here. We got a complaint, something that we're supposed to grab from here. Let me blow this candle out. I don't want to kill it too much. Sometimes I like to have a candle on just for the smell, and sometimes I forget, and I will burn the candle all day. And I guess that's what they're for, but, I like to say Aunt, with her and Aunt Margot. And then we got her name is Margolite. We still don't know. Weird. I would think that all of the 5 pieces would be easy to look up, but maybe not. This is where we had Tessa, but I don't think Tessa was here. I'm gonna start looking a few names up real quick. So did they not do anything, bro? And that's just the originalized Roottrees. Interesting. That's definitely important. Bess Williams. An old book by Elias Roottrees. There's no downloadable version because the book is impossible to find these days. Bruh, they had me to search this. Bess Williams is an author born in the late 1800s. Lived just outside Miami. Oh no, that's crazy. Her book Family Man. Okay, so basically there's no way to find anything on it. Okay. Let's go back to Starlet, I guess. Her divorce from Wild Bill Williams. Who the frick is Wild Bill Williams? Maybe it's a false name or something. Maybe that's just like an actor name. You find some information on a website about old films that are not available on VHS. The site is not very well organized, and the search is broken, but you can get individual pages from your search engine. Wild Bill Williams was the leading man for some notable movies in the 1950s. He had appeared in a movie called Fortune Favors to the Grave. He's well known for his good looks and off-screen romances, especially with blondes. He was married 4 different times to 4 different actresses. He even approached Marilyn Monroe. He grew up in Paris, France. Returned there often. Search that. Wild Williams is mentioned many times throughout the magazine's lifespan, with stories and gossip about who he had been seen with in public. Blondes mostly. Three specific passages stand out. The first one mentions one of his first roles was under his real name, Walter Forsythe. I wonder what name she gave the boys. We still got some guys' name. Maybe they're Robert and Ronald. I could see that, because think about it, right? November and Samantha, those are probably totally different names. No, let's go back. Second interview. He doesn't mention her by name. You could determine from the context he's talking about Gwen Roottrees. And apologies to all the ladies I'm actually taking. Earlier, I did this friend a favor. I was directing a war movie and asked me to play a small part. Wouldn't you know it? That son of a bitch cut me from the picture. I'm just ribbing. It wasn't his fault. Apparently, the studio didn't want to pay for a star of my caliber. I got the last laugh, though. I met someone. She spent most of the film crying. She was playing a soldier wife. But even though through the tears she was incredible, I know I tend to have a reputation, but this one is true love. I only have eyes for her. Ironically, the third rumor is that his divorce from Gwen was due to multiple affairs, including one with actresses. An American reader on vacation in Paris claims to have overheard Wild Bill and Gwen arguing in public while she was holding a baby visibly pregnant. Not long after Gwen announced that she was getting a divorce from Wild Bill and also that she was pregnant again, giving this rumor more credibility. So I can assume that these are Wild Bill's kids, but the question is, they're probably raised as Roottrees. We're probably right. Ronald and Robin and Ronald. What was it? Robert and Ronald. I can almost guarantee that they're here. What's given older name, Ronald or Robert? I feel like Robert is given older. And why do we think he was an actor? I don't know why we have that there. Now I feel like we need more pictures, realistically. Was there anything else to look up? Unlike my mother, I'm not a fighter. But we got her right, so I don't even... What could she have done? Like, we don't know, man. This game, to an extent, can be very hard if you, because I feel like you don't get direction from the game. I'm gonna take a quick second. I'm gonna turn off this light. It's giving me a headache slightly. Drink a little water. That also could be giving me a headache, having not a lot of water. I'm almost done with my water. I'm gonna have to refill it. So we still got one more thing from here. My grandfather constantly preached the importance of family names. That's important. My father decided to bless me with a famous name. There's nothing wrong with Cornwall. And would that be Margolite? Because technically, right, if we going back, right, to this picture, Lauren's not in it at all. So that means we got Gwendolyn right. We don't know what the mom did, Margolite. We don't know what Margolite did, but I think Tessa belongs here. This is where we thought Tessa belonged. But we do remember that, you know, basically, she got the name. Basically, like, her mom didn't originally have the name. Where is this picture at? Is it me? Do any of these pictures have multiple things? Where did that picture come from? It's not this one. We got those right. Oh, that's a Gwen. I guess we'll look up Robert and Ronald Roottrees. They could be useful. Maybe Ronald Roottrees. One of them is an actor, I thought. It's probably Starlet, right? He will be an actor, I would assume, right? I'm yawning. That's crazy. I'm trying my best, though. What if he became to be a musician too? I'm just slapping stuff down, thinking I'm gonna get something right. I almost feel like I'm so stuck with some people in certain places that I don't really want to move anybody else in another place. And then it's also like, where do I get some of this supplemental income information from? Supplemental income. Hilarious. Samantha Roottrees. Patricia and Eli Jr. Right? Or would that be somebody totally different? Elias hid her away with a local farmhand known as EC. Patricia was married off to a much older man and sent away. Alright, what's next on the list of orders? I feel like we have not too much to grab from certain things, but hopefully having low hints might help us. That's always the thought. We don't know what his daughter does. Let's see. Let's look into some of this. Miracles Boys. Okay, so we got Miracles Boys. Fudge. She's the granddaughter of Elias and Gwyneth on her father's side. Okay, yep, on her father's side. We already got her Cassels. We already got this popped. We looked a little bit into the Clan's Trust. Generation after Lawrence, including her son. I guess that makes sense. I mean, right. What is this new generation? Or just everybody else? One sec. Yes, we learned about that. What I don't know exactly what we need. Maybe it's a different picture that we need to solve. Architects, preachers, and lawyers. That doesn't help me with the other names unless all 5 children went into those things. Yep, ended up going to Zach, even though his surname doesn't match the Candy. He's the firstborn son of the firstborn 5-piece. Okay. Yeah, we don't know exactly where to put the secondary Sam. Um, we also don't know who EC is. That's not gonna help either. And then this is about her son. Musicians, artists, and dancers, and all types of nonsense. I wonder who's a dancer. That's important for later, probably. They also need to pursue passive knowledge. Bring home someone who would be illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. And this is Lauren who is talking, right? So there's somebody who's on here. I don't know who she could have been talking about. Unless she refers to this as her generation too, but they said they include her son. So, yeah. Who have been illegal to marry if we lived anywhere south of Pennsylvania. Pop seems to have gotten over it because Edward is set to take over his department once he retires. So Edward is a lawyer. Okay. I'm gonna take a quick bathroom break. I'll be right back. All right, we back. I got some water. I didn't fill my cup of water, but I stole some water from B. Haha. um, but yes, back to where we were. We're kind of at a point where I feel like I have a lot of names, a lot of things correct, and I have a lot of suspicions. But I feel like what I'm missing the most is occupations. So, I don't know. My next course of action, I have no idea, to be honest. There are some key people we don't have photos of. And it's like we have photos, but I still have yet to confirm a lot of people. We did confirm 2 more people in this photo. We confirmed... No, we already had these 4 confirmed. We do know that this is Bonnie, though. We factually checked this off as Bonnie. We have an older guy here. Who could have been the oldest guy here? That older guy could very well be Clark. Have we confirmed that Clark has an additional pictures? Like, this could not be Clark at all. You know what I mean? I don't know who the hell this will be, though, but I mean, you never know, right? Yeah. Trying to get my next piece of evidence and figure this out. I feel like we get high numbers for something like this. Which maybe I just need to look more into it, but definitely will try to see. My earrings still hurts. Let's search this Atlantis burden without that. And we were here already. What did we not do? Okay, so we'll go back to Butler County Times. Carolyn Morden. I think we researched her name. And in P Flag, we found out that she had married a woman. And then when we looked at Art and Beauty of a Woman, what do we find? And then who was it by? We go back. Caroline Morden. Oh, bro. Copy. Nude self-portraits at different ages, stretching from 25 to 30. Certainly have not been added to my evidence. Caroline talks about influences. She was one of the youngest in her generations, and in her late teens, she felt betrayed by her sister Gwendolyn and cousin Bonnie. Gave up on dreams to settle for boring men. I mean, this could be a thing. I don't know. Settle does not mean that they turned into a housewife, but... Wow. Bonnie was a housewife. Nice. So we got Gwendolyn, who we figured was Gwendolyn, but we kept changing what she looked like. Yeah, water's coming soon. Let me go get that water now. Facts. All right, now to celebrate getting those next 3 things right, I filled up my water bottle. I deserve it. Cheers. Every time I do that, I open my water way too fast. Okay. That's crazy that we solved 2 things by putting housewife. That's insane, to be honest. Okay. Settle does mean housewife, I guess, huh? Okay. So what I want to look at is what I have here and what could be wrong if I do have a name and occupation all right. So we know that Sis is not a student in college, for example. We know Sis is not a student in college, for example. And I also think we can confirm that this is not him since this was not there. Clark is in this. It's just about who Clark could be in this photo. This is also not him either. What if this was him and it was like the reverse? But we don't know that yet. We can swap them around. I mean, oops. Alright, and who else did we get right? Or who else do we have a name and occupation? So we got his professor occupation wrong. We don't exactly know what Eli did or is doing at the moment. We know that he has a... he has a path in knowledge. So I don't know what that means, to be honest, but I think what we will do... Have we tried him as a principal? I don't know. Their marriage has led her to double down her passions, art, and environment. She even married a man who was the opposite of boring, which was an overcorrection. She comes out strongly against the Roottrees companies. Yes. Her marriage to Mark. Yep, so we got those people right. Now if we could figure out what Elias Jr. did, and maybe one other person, we probably could solve something. I could assume that his name... Let's change the names up here. Okay. And like anything I had that was like I was certain was right is not exactly right now. So like right there, I wouldn't necessarily change everything unless I had it locked into name, picture, and occupation, and I'd be like, oh, okay, well then maybe one of these 3 things are wrong. So for example, Chris, we know this is the right place for Chris. We also know that we're pretty sure that this is Chris. Yeah, but we got his occupation wrong. We don't know exactly what Chris Rafferty does. So I think maybe we could look up Chris Rafferty. I mean, we could do that, yeah. Some evidence that we had before had we had Clark's or his son's email. Alright, now let's see. Ernie Jr. is in this photo. I wish we got one more of these extra photos confirmed. So who? This is by Bonnie and Guy Hudson. This is Gwendolyn, or no? Yeah, I think this is Gwendolyn, Carolyn's sister. I believe that this is Carolyn. Did we lock that extra picture in? No, we didn't. I don't know why I didn't have it there. I think we could be certain that that is pretty much her. That looks exactly like her with just glasses on. Who else is in this photo? Ernie Jr., which we don't know exactly. Miracle Jr., Eli M., which are the two brothers over here. Here's Carl. We can only assume that one of these two guys are Clark and Jim. But Ernie Jr. was supposedly in here. Could this be Ernie Jr.? Just confusion. That's really it. Okay, let's see. We got 3 more things from this Sam. There's one thing we're supposed to get from here, and that's probably Tessa Roottrees, which we technically don't know, but we thought we had her here as a mechanic, but I don't know if she's necessarily a mechanic or more so like a model type of thing, or just a CEO of whatever. We still gotta find Edward's spouse. You know what? Tessa Roottrees could be over here. If Eli's a mechanic, right? This is using our brains. Okay. Excuse me, Jesus. So we got more pictures of Miracle Jr. I think we can assume that's Miracle Jr. so far. Okay. We got a lot done, though. Like, regardless, like, 27 out of 33. Like, my goal would be to hopefully get, 3 more or 6 more, ideally, yeah? It's just, like, I feel like we might have some people in the right place. We might have some people in the wrong place. For all it's worth, I could have the name right, but he could be here versus this guy being here. I'm just going off of what I think the haircut's like. This guy's haircut looks a little older versus this guy's messy little haircut looks a little younger. Like, if that makes sense, they both could be in college. They both could be doing other stuff. But yes, kind of want to see what direction the game might point me in. 5 pieces, okay. So we gotta look up the 5 pieces. Back then. Teen Blast is a magazine that aimed at teenage girls. Their website has a news section that offers condolences for the loss of the Roottrees sisters. Their fashion line was often covered by our magazine. Raina Roottrees first appeared on the cover for her 16th birthday. Did that give us any? No. So Teen Blast, we got a new periodical, and then what does it say? Tabloid aimed at teenage girls, likely to have gossip about famous faces they'd be interested in. Huh. And then what did they say? Who was it? Raina Roottrees? Raina was on the cover of Teen Blast when she was 16 and did an interview. You had to cover an article to your evidence. Well, that's something. We got something, right? This is Raina. Got an extra photo of her. Nice. And we're supposed to get 6 things from here. I'm going to read this. TMS, what's he up to? Teen Blast can tell you. Brother Trouble, new gossip. Also, how do you know if he's interested? And when a trip set to a new movie. Raina, Sweet 16, the candy girl, gets serious about her inspirations and aspirations. Raina talks in this interview, 1994. Also mentions TMS and Brother Trouble. Interesting. We might have to look into that as well. One more important thing I learned at an early age is that dreams are not outside of our grasp. My grandpa was a college professor. Grandpa. Yep, we got that right. My grandpa was a college professor who taught lectures about history. He always told me that history was full of people from famous families who wasted their fame and fortune by taking it for granted. Instead, he told me I should use my name to accomplish something. I think he may have practiced that lecture a lot because I have other people in my family who also made the Roottrees name famous besides Candy. His older sister even wrote a book that some of my friends tell me they had read in school. I took his advice now, and now I work with my mom designing clothing. I help design what colors and patterns I want to model, and she designs the clothes with a team of amazing men and women. Although my grandpa passed away earlier this year, Grandma Laura tells me he was really proud of what we have managed to accomplish. Laura. Well, that's cool. I wish the names themselves could get you something, right? Let me think. There could be something else we could look. The Roottrees sisters appear in mainly ads for both Candy and Root clothes in Teen Blast. The search engine isn't the best, so your results are flooded with page after page of nearly identical advertisements. Some ads specifically mentioned that Raina appeared on the cover of Teen Blast. Riley and Rose, on the other hand, seem to be mentioned less. I still want to look into them, though. Yeah, it's worth seeing, you know? This is the funniest part. This is the original article that we looked at that helped us solve the 3 sisters. His older sister even wrote a book about that. Okay, so I'm assuming the book that her friends read was that Life Between Wars book, and then here's that revisiting the diary thing, which we have some stuff every now and then. This one has the most. This Sam one. I mean, the kids are lucky to have her. If we can get pictures of some of these people, I think we could solve it too. What will we have to look up to get those pictures though? Ernie Jr. has one learning day to day from Zach. Gwyneth has the green thumb of her mother and her adopted grandfather. Adopted grandfather. I could only assume that this is here and her adopted grandfather could be Sam, right? Quote unquote adopted. Because we can't change this, right? Oh no, that's not what I wanted. What? The fuck? Published in 1985, hardcover, nonfiction. This is a part of a book series about all things candy in the modern world. It starts in 1925 and continues onward to chronicle the rise, mass production, and global distribution. Book ends with a look into the future of candy as envisioned by experts in 1985. With the addition of hindsight, you clearly can see that they got pretty much everything wrong. It includes some print advertisements. You find a newspaper ad from 5 Pieces from the 1930s added to evidence. Oh, we got something to look at. I love that. Love that, something to look at. So we have another ad right here. It's a miracle in modern candy for a modern society. Roottrees 5 Pieces contain 5 different maple infused flavors. The Roottrees are a proud family business, and our flavors are inspired by our children. G is for grape, E is for elderberry, CE is for cinnamon extract, M is for melon, and introducing M for miracle berry. Miracle berry is a burst of beautiful blossom blended berries. Try it today. You find this advertisement in The Sweet History of Candy, Volume 2 by Charles Lee. It's from 1928, 6 years after the debut of 5 Pieces. It states that the flavors are inspired by the children, and the order is G-E-C-M-M. 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 We just don't have exactly what Margolite did. And then CE, is that just like Clancy Edward? Yeah, Clancy Edward Roottrees. And he named them two first names, or a first name and a middle name type thing. Okay. Anything else in here? Let's go back to that spider search. Oh, it's a volume 1. That's kind of funny. Published in 1984. This book is about candy, all through history. It starts with historical accounts dating back to the ancient Egyptians and chronicles of candy through the year 1924. It includes some print advertisements from companies you've heard of, including extremely early newspaper ad for the 5 pieces that Charles Lee included due to a major misprint. All right, I gotta try the trick again. Haha, nope. But this is useful though. G is for grape, E is for elderberry, EC is for EC. CE and M. EC and CE. Who is CE? You found this advertisement in The Sweet History of Candy, Volume 1 by Charles Lee. It is from 1974, 2 years after the debut of 5 Pieces. Author included it because of the spelling error on the word available near the bottom. Interesting. Elderberry egg cream. Was that the same on the other one? Cinnamon extract. Is that the exact same? Yeah. GECEMM. GECE. So EC. Who is EC? That is somebody who we gotta figure out who that is. I mean, you never know, right? Who the frick has candy named egg cream? That's also something I'm just like, what? So EC. Who could EC be confused with? Weird. That's so weird. I still supposedly get the most things from here. But I mean, I already figured out he's a college professor, or not a college professor, but we knew he was a professor. Child, dare take a bite of a snack? Just think about it. Got a fruit bar. These are amazing right here. Little fruit bars are like 50 calories per. I just smash these all day. I like fruit leather. Like a healthy fruit roll up. And I think it's organic. Yeah. Alright, let's look back into Lauren Roottrees. Was it just those 2 books that she wrote? Because now that we learned that we got some books, we got multiple things, we can look up different things. So different editions of books, for example, like we just found the candy edition. We wouldn't have found that if we didn't type that in, perhaps. I'm looking this up. She had a inspiration about her brother Clancy's stuff. Court Jester series. Let's search that as well. Romance at Court is a book by Lauren Roottrees. It is the first and most famous series of 3 books written called a Court Jester series. All 3 books in the series talk about different romances, but told via the same narrator. You could probably surmise the narrator's profession. The 2 other books were called Return to Court and New Romance in the Court. Okay, you get few results. The books had some popularity when they were released in the 60s. Now, 30 years later, they are high in demand. Well, it's worth looking up anyways. Lauren Roottrees' follow-up to Romance of Court. Inspiration from her brothers. Okay, same thing. And then... I guess, okay. Alright, let's go back into Butler County Times. What's her married name? Lauren Rafferty. Let's see what we can search about Lauren Rafferty. Okay, not too much. not sure. Just wanted to check something. And you would think, I was thinking that maybe she might have some more written stuff and I could look up more books. God dang, I pushed the wrong button. Alright, so we already had that. Anything else that we could potentially look up? This Teen Blast. So Candy is performing under a fake name, so we may not know who Candy Roottrees is. And it was Raina, right? Oops. What else could we potentially look at? I believe we already looked this up, but I don't know. It's always like a thing where, why not? Uh-oh. Morden, not Madsen. That doesn't necessarily help. Thank you, Shippy. I appreciate you being here. It means a lot. Ah, man. I might go to bed with all my earrings on in general. They're just... This one hurts. Okay. Oh, that feels better. It's like a sore on it. Nice. I got both earrings off. The only one that hurt it was the left one, but I feel like why not give both my ears a break? Kind of wear them all day. I think I just pulled it when I was asleep. I'm trying to scan it with my eyes. I feel like we've read a lot of stuff. God dang. No. We find out about his parents. That might help. Maybe we'll see if we get a little point in the right direction, I guess. Something about her interview at Team Blast. So we got Rose. And then we'll search Riley, and then we'll search Raina, because Raina has the most stuff about her. Okay, same thing. Okay, there's an article written about. It could be something on here too. No, I don't think so. Brother trouble, new gossip, maybe. Maybe something like that. Brother Trouble is a sitcom about two 16-year-old brothers named the same age, one adopted, played by Tommy Mark Sheridan and Dustin Christopher Baker. Their single mother, played by stand-up Penelope Tessa Green, often had to navigate her job. Tessa Green. That name sounds very familiar, right? As well as troubles at home with raising two boys. Ouch. Who are extremely competitive in sports, academics, and romantic pursuit of their next-door neighbor, Roxy. Showrunner shows a small screen director, Ron Roottrees. So would he be an actor or more like a director? Okay. So now we got 30, right? And we got Bethany right. I figured Bethany was a little younger. I was like, maybe the younger people in the thing could be a little younger. Tessa Green Penelope. Maybe he married somebody named Tessa Green Penelope. And then they got two boys trying to date Roxy. So maybe he had two boys. But they will still be Roottrees, right? So we got Jack, Christina, Samantha, and November. November could be a guy's name. Who knows? Oh, yeah, it is a guy's. No. I lied. It's a girl's name. Okay. Who else did we get right, by the way? Oh, we got Tessa Roottrees, so we got Tessa locked in. Did we get any type of photos connected? So this is not his photo. He was probably a lot younger in this photo. But we did lock in this photo for Clark. Oh, we got her right. She was the third person we got right. All right, let's go back and read a little bit. Well, we are gonna have to look up Penelope Tessa Green too. The showrunner was a small screen director, Ron Roottrees. So maybe Ronald isn't the search, it's Ron. The show had strong ratings through the entire season 1, rocketing both Sheridan and Baker to instant stardom, mostly amongst the teenage girl demographic. However, it was canceled in 1991, midway through the second season due to significant drop-off in ratings. Can we search Tommy Mark Sheridan? TMS is a common abbreviation for the early 90s teen heartthrob Tommy Mark Sheridan. His first credited role as Thomas Sheridan was on a soap opera called Time Marches Onward. He skyrocketed to popularity after his starring role on the sitcom Brother Trouble. Since the end of Brother Trouble, he has often been on the cover of tabloids in his supposed drug use. More recently, his relationship with Raina Roottrees. After a short engagement, they married in 1997 when she was 19 and he was 23. Do we even have a... Thomas Sheridan, hilarious. She married the guy. Let's search this Time Marches Onward, I guess. As a soap opera, was first credited role was for Tommy Mark Sheridan, who was only 7 years old, still being credited as Thomas Sheridan at the time. Do we actually have Sheridan? No. Right? Nah, okay, that's just the actor name, I figured. According to your search, the show has been on air for 22 years instead of focus on three large families that own different ranches in the same town of Texas. TMS appeared as Carson in 53 episodes before he went away to camp. You already know I gotta search all these names, or else I feel like I'm gonna lose stuff. I'm trying to keep focused and have those same thoughts. A few episodes later, his parents learned his off-screen death in terrible white water rafting accident. After a 6-month accident, Carson returned now with partial amnesia. He recalled that he was saved from the river, and a couple who found him was evil drug doers. They smuggled him across the Mexican border, sold him into child labor. After he had managed to escape, he couldn't remember who he was. He eventually found his way home by following the address that his parents had written on the tag of his jacket. During the second run, Carson was played by an actor other than Tommy Mark Sheridan. The discrepancy was explained by covering his face in bandages, claiming that his work in the silver mines left him permanently disfigured and causing his voice to sound completely different. After plastic surgery operation that happened amidst the hostage situation at the local hospital, the bandages were removed and a new actor played Carson an additional 3 years, over 500 episodes. He was killed permanently this time while saving his younger sister from drowning in a whitewater accident that happened at the same time. Wow, interesting. As fascinating as all this, none of this is related to... I was supposed to say, wait, what? Okay, let's go back to his brother trouble. Let's look up this Dustin Baker guy. He's often abbreviated as DCB by his teenage fans. Since leaving Brother Trouble, he has appeared in a few straight to VHS movies that adapt classic literature to families' audiences with minor success. Most popular of which was Jane Eyre, which reimagined Charlotte Ron novel as a high school romance focused on skateboarding. Doesn't seem associated with the Roottrees. All right, we finally searched Penelope Tessa Green, retired comedian. Interesting. We'll keep reading. A retired comedian. There's a result for the Laugh Lounge, a club in Reno, where, let me highlight that. Where in Reno that claims Penelope got her stand-up start and first did her famous raunchy breast milk cheese routine in the 80s before she was a TV star on Brother Trouble. The site complains that she... Not complains, gosh. Here's another thing. I might be getting tired. The site claims that she retired for the birth of her first child, but still makes yearly appearances for her fundraisers doing more friendly material. You find a picture labeled Joke-O-Lantern 1997, as well as a different picture labeled Jack watching one of his mother's charity sets. Both have been added to your evidence. Alright, let's search this breast milk cheese thing. It's hilarious. Search this. Laugh Lounge Colony Club hosts several fundraisers throughout the year, but the most famous one seems to be Joke-O-Lantern, which happens every Halloween. Comics and patrons are encouraged to wear costumes, and it seems the person with the best costume wins a voucher and can be redeemed for 5 pounds of buffalo wings. The 2-drink minimum and 0 tolerance policy for heckling. Every year we tell people not to heckle the comics, and every year someone ends up getting kicked out. Don't do it. And then we also have this. Okay, let's look at the evidence we have. Found this website. This is captioned Jack watching one of his mother's sets. If it is somebody that had one son and one son only, I don't know. Jokoliner. Okay, we still got, I think, 1 or 2 more places we could search up Tessa Penelope Green. Interesting. Let's research Brother Trouble again, I guess. Maybe we could search Brother Trouble here too. Is TMS raiding a Roottrees? TMS told a Team Blast reporter that he met a girl at a party in Malibu. Apparently, the cast of the Brother Trouble gets together at Penelope's house once a year, and this time TMS found love. The mega hottie had this to say: "She's incredible. She came to the party to meet me specifically. She said she had a crush on me when she was younger. I told her I had a crush on her from her posters now." Ron married Penelope. And then that would be one of the babies, right? Jack Roottrees, and then we don't know who the secondary would be, but and we also don't know the occupation or anything like that. Interesting. Okay. Yeah. We still got 4 more from here. I'm getting used to it. I feel like this game is... I really like the game. I feel like it's a very unique kind of like setup for a game. I do think that... it could be hard at sometimes. I feel like the combination of having to look at evidence, to look up stuff, to look up books, and to look up newspapers, all kind of get me to this point where I'm kind of just, I'm a little confused. So like for example, like we just got done studying stuff, and when I open up everything, right? So like for example, these are the last 2 things we got. We got these 2, and then what do we get? We got the picture of the baby. This is 1997. What does it say? 1997. And what time is this? 1994. Okay, so this baby's not Jack. The baby goes here. And then Jack will be the little boy, we can only assume. We don't know what the little boy went on to do, but we can search to see. What would the baby's name be? We don't have it here. What was the names in the thing? Let's go back. Uh-oh. So I mean, I don't think the two boys have to be the same age, but I'm almost thinking about the fact that the two boys being raised around the same age probably has something to do with Ron and his brother, right? They're a single mother, so Penelope ended up playing who was supposed to be the Ron's mom, which is real awkward. Small screen director, head of RR Productions. That's going to be interesting to look up RR Productions. Defunct production company responsible for Brother Trouble. You find a comment on the Unsenet board stating that Brother Trouble ended up being an ironic name, considering the rumors about RR Production, Ron and Robbie Roottrees. Okay, let's look up Robbie Roottrees. There's not much relevant information about Robbie Roottrees. And in a comment thread on a message board about television cliches, you find a thread called "Why Was Brother Trouble Canceled?" One user speculates. I think it's because the writing went downhill in season 2. They actually had an episode where Roxy was addicted to sniffing markers. Another person replied, maybe it's due to the rumor about Robbie Roottrees in the Silver Screen magazine. There's a link to it in some type of article, but it appears to be dead. Let's copy this whole thing. I know, I was just... Okay, game. Okay, Silver Screen Magazine was a Hollywood Insiders magazine focusing less on actors and actresses and more about nitty-gritty of writing, directing, and costuming, set design, film, and promotion, and other elements of filmmaking. It ran from 1983 to 1993, and it was brought by a bigger and more recognizable magazine a few years ago. The website now redirects to the new magazine. The new magazine doesn't appear to have any relevance to your case. And then we need to go back and copy Robbie Roottrees. Robbie. Small rumors from an article in 1992 that claims that the self-taught television screenwriter was allegedly tried and convicted under the name Robert in the front court of law. It seems like he had allegedly embezzled from company RR Productions to fuel a gambling habit that left hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. Then he fled to Paris, where he grew up, and then Silver Screen continues to insist that this is all very much allegedly assault in the officer who came to question him. The article's author says that they were unable to get a statement from French authorities, but believed information from an anonymous source that they were able to confirm through a public record that there was a trial involving a Robert Roottrees around the time that Brother Trouble was canceled. Alright, here's something about Ron. This is about his brother. There's an article about Ron Roottrees from 1984 entitled "Don't Blame Nepotism, He Gets Results." After finding some small screen success, first First as the director of many soap opera episodes and then stepping in as the showrunner to turn around a few struggling productions, Ron has decided to start his own television production company. Ron was born in the U.S. but grew up in Paris with his once famous mother and his brother Robbie. He gobbled up American cinema whenever he could, and when he was old enough, returned to Hollywood to attend film school. He brings a special kind of charisma and an eye for unusual shots, particularly when it comes to comedy. Those he's worked with have gone on record saying he's an attentive director who can work with actors to make sure the timing of a joke lands correctly. Ron plans to pitch new shows to every major television studios as soon as 1986. Until then, he plans to find the right project. He is occasionally called upon his younger brother to script punch-ups as he thought about bringing him into the fold. So is he not a director? Is he like a screenwriter or something like that? Yeah. Okay. Look at that. 33 out of 50 blood relatives. Look at that. Half of them solved by just putting students there. That's crazy. We gonna start putting student, housewife, house husband, whatever you want to put it, right? Oh yeah, we got to knock on the door. We finally progressed.
On the phone, I said I owed you an explanation.
Yes, pay up this
but
explanation.
I can't reveal everything. Not yet. I'm sure this all seems like deception for deception's sake. So I'll try to explain why.
Hopefully we get a good explanation for real.
It's true, I'm working with lawyers. But not the candy company lawyers. My publisher's lawyers.
My publisher's lawyers.
I'm on the verge of releasing a book. And it's not kind to the Roottrees.
Is this,
especially Elias and the Five Pieces.
Carolyn?
The truth often isn't. But with the plane crash, the publisher is rightfully worried it'll look like I'm making things up to exploit a tragedy. So they're doing their due diligence. That's why you're here. To be sure there's enough evidence for an expert to unearth the whole story.
Am I not the expert?
If I tell you the whole story now, we can't prove that. I hope you understand.
So she wants me
That
to
said, I can
figure out
say
the
that
story?
The work you're doing is very personal to me.
Yes, I know you're a root
To
tree.
my story, one spot on the tree is more important than the rest. You've likely noticed it. It's locked for now. I'll return one final time, after you fill it in.
Oh, wow. She doesn't check in often, huh? We got a
Also,
couple easy
there are
ones.
fewer Roottrees left. In a sense, that makes it easier. Use process of elimination. It's also harder to verify when you're right. You'll need 4 blood relatives
Wow.
before they lock from here on out.
4 blood relatives before they lock. Wow, that's crazy. They just made it harder for me.
I don't have any more evidence for you, but trust your intuition. If something has a high number, it's not a mistake. You're getting closer and closer to the truth. I look forward to seeing you soon.
Okay, and then we got a little update about her being in the family. And da-da-da-da-da. But weren't we in the middle of reading something? Hello? Okay. So this is mostly about movie production. Okay. So we got actually a lot of names here. How many Roottrees do we got? We got Elias C, which we know Elias C belongs here, right? Who else we got? We got Gwendolyn, which I'm pretty sure is right. We just don't know her occupation. Who else do we have? Christina, November, Samantha. Christina, November. So if Sam goes here, then maybe, you know, the rest of it is here. Right? So that being said, we just have November and Christina. And then if I had to guess, we don't know which one. All right, I think I'm gonna cut it here. I feel like I've had a lot of fun. Really, like today has been fun. We gone for a long time, but I feel like the sooner I go, the sooner I come back type thing. Have a stream planned for Thursday. Don't have a time yet, but I'm gonna try to go for earlier. My goal is to try to get a consistent schedule. I've still been working, but been working on trying to get like a laptop so I can like update things while I'm at work and just do different stuff. But yes, that being said, here's what we're looking like. We've saw 33 out of 49. And I'm assuming this is the 50th thing. And I could say that when we come back, we'll be in a good position. We'll be in a very good position. Because we already know where most of the people go. I would say we have November, we have Christina, and we have Samantha. Which I'm pretty sure Samantha goes here. And then Christina and November are either or, right? But I don't think simply putting one or the other in would help me solve the photos, if that makes sense. Especially knowing that they're not in here. This is not even really, you know, the thing. But yeah, that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing time. And then I'll just have to see y'all soon. But probably if I don't stream tomorrow, Wednesday, then it'll probably be Thursday. I'm going to try to like maybe see if I can try to edit some content up on the days that I work versus like days like today where I don't work and I'm able to, you know, focus on some, you know, editing and fixing some stuff up, but maybe I don't have a ridiculous time all day. That being said, I think we got quite a bit done and I'm kind of excited to come back. I think I want to just go back and just do the whole thing. Maybe if I get frustrated, I do, but yeah, maybe we'll go into it next time with a lot less hints or a lot more relying on this number system because it seems to have done this well despite the one or two hints we've taken this episode or see, you know, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing night. It's TiCup and it's been an amazing one. Peace.